Hey fellas, how y'all doing? Hey, I want to come on for a minute, talk a little bit about justice for Jay Slater, 19-year-old, uh, out of the UK, went on a holiday in the island of Tenerife and did not make it home alive. Some people say setup, some people say accident. Technology is starting to prove otherwise. We know there's so many inconsistencies in stories, so many lies in timelines, so many lies about what he was wearing, so many lies about where he was, so many lies about beaches and boats and ravines and Airbnbs and rave clubs and who was there, who wasn't there. So much drama, so much BS, so much not sticking to the facts, right? And that's how we are. We stick to facts. We come up with our theory like everybody else does. We kind of explain our theory. Like I always try to do 3 theories in every case. I try to come up with 3 things that could have possibly happened and 3 ways that could have possibly happened. And then I run those over and over and over. And then once we get information in that we request, sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. When we get information, we start working. And if we come up with what we think one of our theories is, then we actually do more digging. And that's where we're at right now. Now we're putting in the time and the effort extra on this case to work with what we got. And I can say there was a lot of activity around that Airbnb, a lot. But pretty much from Friday on, a lot of activity Friday on. Now, I don't know how many people stayed there. I don't know how many people they had over there. I don't know how many people were in that same Airbnb area. I don't know how many people were at that club. I don't know that little cafe or whatever right there, or bar or whatever it's called, cantina, right there on the other side of the Airbnb. It's possible. Some of them are late nights, some of them are early morning, some of them are daytime, but daytime really not a lot of people there. It's more the nighttime and the 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. time frames. And then after that, it kind of dwindles down, and then a lot of hiking activities is normally what goes on in those islands and in that area of that island. But we're working with everything we got. We are giving it our all. We really are. I'm on days off now, so I can start doing a little more than I haven't been able to do in 7 days. So I'll be able to focus a lot more on all the cases now, which is great. I'll be able to do some searching. We want to try to go to LA, see if I can help my buddy for a day or two. And I'm going to take a travel trailer and stuff up there for him to use and some things like that. But, we're still going to try to hit some areas on the way back, some searches that they're mapping out. We're going to try to hit a few spots on the way back. And then we'll talk about them after we get back, right? I don't ever talk about them up front. But hopefully by tomorrow, we'll also have some more of our stuff we've been waiting for. We've been waiting very patiently for. I think it'll be here. I spoke to them again today, and I think it will be here on time. That's going to open up a whole lot more doors, just depending on, he said it might be after 4 or 5. So I was hoping to get it early, because if I get it early, then I can break it down and have a chance to review it, look at it before I can talk about it, right? I can't just get it in and then talk, because I want to research it first. So, and then I have to be careful about what I say and what I don't say. So, y'all know how the drill works, right? So allegedly, in my opinion, these are my theories, my thoughts, my speculations, not to reflect on the channel. Y'all's comments, y'all's alone, not to reflect on the channel. We do our research together, and y'all know. Oh, I can't show bottles on the thing. Like Gatorade bottles, you can't show them on. You got to take the labels off. I forget. But anyway, I trigger 1 times 100 million. I think I said that. But anyway, y'all's comments, y'all know are y'all's. We do our research together, all that good stuff. Allegedly, I'm just a big alleged bubble. Don't take nothing here as fact until we prove it. Right now, we're running in a mode of trying to find the truth. That's what everybody wants to know, is what's the truth. Was it an accident? Was it not? I know probably 85% of the people, or maybe a little higher than that now, think that something bad happened. I know some other people feel like it was completely an accident. I don't think the UK law enforcement and investigators think it was an accident at this point, but then again, I could be wrong. I feel that they are doing an investigation behind closed doors. I've said that since the get-go. And that leads me to believe I feel the same way, right? I feel like something isn't right. I feel like he was not dumb. He was a smart bricklayer that's used to hard work, right? And he had really good street smarts, really good common sense. Yes, he liked to dance and he liked to go to raves and he liked to have fun, but that's any 19-year-old, right? But still, all in all, he's not, to me, in an area that he's never been, he's not just going to take off and go hiking and tiptoeing across a mountaintop. I just don't see that happening at all. I feel like now, with all the phone numbers and everything coming together, we still got 5 or 6 or 7 that aren't, they're not public numbers, they're private numbers, so we'll never be able to get those, right? There's no way. I mean, we can reach out all we want, most likely they're not going to give them to us, so it doesn't really matter. We just got to kind of go on. And one of the numbers I was really hoping wasn't going to be private, and it is, but it is what it is. And it could have been that they weren't private then, and they are private now. See, you get what I'm saying? Because as we've come to find out over the last few days, 3 of the numbers that were public then, when I applied for my stuff, right, in August, they were public numbers. Now they're private numbers. So you can call your cell phone provider and change it anytime you want. You can say, I want to pay extra. I don't want my number public. I want it private, and they have to do it. I mean, if you want a private number, you can pay for a private number. It's usually only a couple bucks, not much a month. But it does kind of throw a loop and a wrench in what we were doing. And that's why I really don't like talking about it on here. Because once you start talking about it, it sends tips out there, right? And people can go in and start doing things that they normally would have never done. And that's the only bad part about true crime. Is that when you really work with, like the way we work, you try not to put anything out until after you send it in. And I should have stuck with my gut and done that, but I didn't. It's my fault. So you live and learn, right? That's how I see it. You live and you learn. And I should have listened to my team 100% in the beginning. And I didn't. I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to make sure that there was enough people on the same page to where I wasn't the only one out here believing this way. And it's nice to know that there's a lot of other people that feel the same. That's why I ask a lot of times for y'all's opinions. I want to know what y'all think, right? I want to know y'all's theories, because then that I can put that with my theory and say, okay, they're similar. It's similar. Some of them are right on the money. There's a few of you that are exactly the same way I think. And so I know I'm not the only one. And I don't necessarily want to come on every single night and just go over the same things. That's not fun, right? It's to me, it's not fun. It's I could be putting my time on something else. I do, if there's something a little new, even if it's small new that comes up, I like to come on and talk about it. And lately, since I've been trying to break it down for y'all and show y'all how and why we use this data. That's mainly why we've been doing these every single night, right? And normally I don't cover them every night. If you go back in the past when we were still waiting for this information, we weren't covering this case but a couple of nights a week because there wasn't much out there and we didn't have much yet. So now that we got some information, I like to come on and talk about it because, you know, when you start investigating and you start looking at it, like, you know, say you have 6 members in your team. Well, one of you is working full-time, or 3 of you are working full-time. The other ones kind of don't have to work full-time. They're part-time. So they have a little more time than others, right? Everybody can watch a video, watch a clip, watch an interview, and then we all put it together once a week on Mondays, and then we discuss it, and we see which direction we need to go, right? So should we talk about it? Should we not talk about it? Some of the things that have bothered me in this case was, for one, that those 2 men were down there in that area with no wristbands, no tickets to go in the rave. Okay, so I know that's a party area, and there's other clubs around there. But the biggest thing at that time was the rave. So really, if you didn't have tickets, there's no point on going, in my book, unless you're doing something shady, right? And that does sometimes happen. So I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I felt like something was really wrong in the beginning of this case. And I've always felt like he never made it up there to the Airbnb. I think something happened and he caught on being street smart before that, either at the beach, like some think, which now with seeing the new photos and stuff and being able to put where those videos were made and where those cameras were that caught the other section of the beach, like now I'm starting to say, okay, it's really close to where they were. It is a very big possibility that they all went to that beach, right? And it's something that if we could just figure out, like the thing is, if I had that original video, which is what I wish I did, I'm looking for it now. The original video that was posted in the beginning when it showed the beach and then her crying and all, if I could find the actual video again, I think it's been taken down maybe. If you can search that video to see whose IP address, whose phone filmed that video, right? That's what we're trying to find. And I hate to give it out, but I want to give it out because if somebody has that clip, I would really like to have it emailed. And because for some reason we're not finding it right now. And I don't know if they've taken it down, somebody's unposted it, but it has to be wherever it was originally posted from. That's the only way you're going to get the IP address off of it. And then if we could track down whose phone filmed that video, then we would know more, right? That would give a whole bunch more answers. Who filmed it? If it's who I think filmed it, then it would prove one of my points, right? If Brandon filmed that video, then might as well just say it. Then I'm wondering now. But then again, we might not ever know because we have to find the original post. And I don't know. There's so many people that have shown it afterwards that it's not original anymore. So we're working on it. We'll see what we can find, guys. I just wanted to come on with a few updates. I don't have long. I just got off, but tonight I got so much to do with this new monetizing thing. I got to go in and set up all this stuff to get it so we can try to go live by tomorrow. So I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about it and just bring up a few things. We did get some more GPS coordinates today that came in, 2 pages of them that we had requested after we had got our original ones. So things are coming together good. I feel like we should have somewhat put this together. I know I said about a month, but I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks now after talking to the team today and seeing what came in. If everything comes in tomorrow like expected, I think within 2 weeks we should be able to send what we have off and hopefully get some kind of response. I think we're going to get a good one. I hope and pray we are. And we might not get. They might laugh at us and say no, right? I don't know. I don't know how they work. So I know here, if you send in that kind of stuff, they jump on it because they believe social media can help with a lot of these cases, right? The more eyes that look at it, the more people use their brain. Some people can crack things quickly. Some people it takes a little bit, right? Some people are willing and have connections to work with the right stuff. Some people don't, and that's the difference. But and that's why I tell y'all live over there. If there's something that you know and you have solid evidence, even if it's one little clip that can prove something, take it to them. Email it in. The detective's name and everything is on their website under the Jay Slater case. You can look it up. There's 2 detectives on that case, right, that were assigned to that case, or the coroner's office. Reach out to someone and just say, hey, I got this clip. I'd really like y'all to look at it, right? That's considered a tip. Send it in. And who knows? If they get enough of those, y'all could end up doing this before we even do. If y'all send in enough of them, if y'all have enough things that y'all been working on that can prove that the theory's different than what they think happened, then they'll review it. And like I said, that's why I brought up the Levi Davis case, because I felt like all that time, look how long it took. 2 years for that mother to get that review. 2 years. It's a long time, but you know what? Now she's got it. And now the Spanish police can't work alone on it. They have to work with his hometown. So now you're going to put 2 forces together, so they're going to be able to get whatever information the Spanish has had in his file. Now they're going to get every bit of it, which sometimes the answers are right there. And that's why they say a lot of times if somebody turns down the help, something is wrong. And in this case, they turned down the UK's help twice. So something is probably wrong. So all they need to do is get a review. Don't think that those investigators don't want a review. They want a review. They want somebody to find something so they can grab it and try. You know, they're way smarter than we are. So I'm sure they're trying to find anything they can to get it open, right? And I mean, they can still do research behind closed doors without opening it. And then if they get enough, then they can say, okay, they go to the judge, they get signed off, boom, it's reopened. All right, now you make Spanish police work with you. Then you make them turn over everything they have from day one in that case, all the CCTV footage, all the videos, anything that was turned in or sent into them, any tips, anything. They have to keep all that. Then they have to give all that to the UK. Then the UK will have every bit of that information. And then they will go to work on it. And sometimes it takes months. But it doesn't matter how long it takes. All that matters is if you can get justice in the end and find the truth, right? This is kind of what I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight. It's about finding the truth. So let's not get lost in anything else. It's just about finding the truth. Finding out what happened to this young man. Was it an accident? Was it not? 90-something% probably saying 87, 90% say something fishy. The other percent, I think, just kind of swept it under the rug. And then to find out why Chris changed his tune. In the beginning, he's saying, oh, somebody had to throw his phone in there, something bad happened, and the Spanish police at June 30th, we're going to start the investigation side. He's not out here. We've sent so many manpower hours, drones, dogs, searchers. There's no sign of him, helicopters, night drones. No, there's no sign of him nowhere. He can't be here. We got to go back to the investigative side of this and start looking at cameras and try to find this young man. That came out of the Spanish police spokeswoman's mouth. So that right there is the number one reason why we're doing what we're doing. If they wouldn't have put that out in the beginning, we would have never looked at it as, I mean, it still looks shady, but when they said it, even though we think they're crooked, when they came out and said that, granted if that woman lost her job or not, she still came out and told the truth. So to me, it's worth looking at. Everybody deserves justice. Every voiceless human being that's not with us anymore, that we feel something bad went wrong, just like the Levi Davis case. We have to, just like Sebastian Rogers' case, we have to investigate it. We have to do our best to try to find something. Even if it's the smallest little, sometimes the smallest little clip can bust the whole thing wide open, right? That's a saying by a lot of law enforcement. Sometimes the littlest thing can open up the whole entire can of worms. And sometimes they need warrants. I don't know how y'all all over there. I don't know if public phone records or if y'all can get stuff public like we can here. But over here, our laws are different. So we can get anything that's not private, we can get it no matter where it's at. Doesn't matter. It's public in our country. Now, I couldn't probably come over there and get it, but I can get it from over here. So, I mean, it depends on how it is, right? Like what was it, Nicola Bully case? Remember that case? That was a big, huge blow-up case. I still want to get into that case. I think something bad happened there to that woman. I don't think she walked off in that cold water on her own. I really don't. I really don't feel that she did. If she would have, that dog would have been wet too, in my book. That dog would have went in, and nobody ever brought that up. But I don't want to give away all my secrets, but in that particular case, that man that found that dog shortly after, that dog was not wet. If she would have went in that water, that dog would have went with her. Somehow, some way. They'd have had to pull his collar. It wouldn't have mattered. That dog would have got in that water with his owner. Because I know Ruby would do the same thing for me. So that's another case that I've always felt needs the attention. So it's coming. Once we get done with this, we send all our stuff in on this case, we'll start working on that case. Because that's another one that's always flagged me. Just like Jack O'Sullivan, that's another fishy case to me. There's a lot of fishy cases that we have. I've done small videos on them before, but we've been working behind the scenes on them. We want to get the answers to. So there's a lot of upcoming things that we're going to be doing. And I want y'all to be aware of all that. And so it's not just one case that we get stuck on. We do a whole bunch. I do a lot of cold cases, right? I have like 32 cold cases that we work on. I don't know if y'all have done any research on the Texas unaliving fields. That's not the proper middle word, but that's the word I have to use on YouTube. And it's a story about 13 women that were found in a field, and then it ended up being 35 people that were found in this one little 25-acre tract outside of Houston, Texas, between Houston and Galveston. I've done a few videos on the lady with the red ribbon and some of the other cases, and we're still working on a lot of that because DNA testing is getting done now for some of the stuff that was actually found by a new detective, a new set of eyes on the case. And so hopefully we're going to get some because I've covered that a lot. So I'm really hoping for good news on there, just like John Benet Ramsey. There's a lot of them that we're waiting on information. Uh, but as for Jay Slater, something shady went wrong, in my opinion. And I'm not going to go too much into it tonight, but I just, like I said, I'm going to leave it at that, actually. I'm going to go ahead, take my shower, eat once early, take a break, take a rest tonight, relax a little bit, and then tomorrow we can put out content all day, because I'm going to do a bunch of day ones tomorrow. We'll be back to searching tomorrow, so I'll be able to talk while I'm searching and make the daytime videos. So we'll do a little bit of all of it tomorrow morning, and I'll start posting them as soon as we get done. And that way y'all have some daytime content for the next 7 days. So you don't have to wait till night to watch it all. But I do want to say I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for all. I could not have got over 1,000 without y'all. We're almost actually at 1,100 in one day. I mean, almost drew like 100 in one day subs today alone. So it's great. It's growing. It's great. It's going to be fun. I'm glad that we can go live now. I'm glad I sent that stuff in. I'm just waiting on the review to be finalized, and then we're done. The YouTube partnership is finalized. Now I'm waiting on the review for the steps that I had to do, a whole bunch of stuff I sent in. And it takes about 24 hours, they said, up to 2 days, but I don't think it'll take that long because the review only took like 16 hours, so I'm hoping it'll be fast. But anyway, guys, y'all have a good night, and we'll talk more about Jay tomorrow. And the next 7 days we'll be able to cover a lot, so it'll be fun. It'll be good. Y'all have a good night. I know we didn't get a lot discussed tonight, but I wanted to let y'all know where we stand, and some of these new photos are really mind-blowing. Some of these new pings that we're getting are really crazy. It puts some phones in that area, 5 or 6 different phones in that area, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's going to be crazy. We just got to find out what they are and who they are first, right? That's what we're working on. So anyway, guys, y'all be good, be safe. We'll keep y'all updated. We'll talk tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Remember, allegedly, these are my opinions. I'm in my bubble, alleged bubble, so I'm safe over here. And y'all keep doing y'all's research, guys. Jake's counting on all of us. So y'all be good, be safe. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Remember, trigger warning. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be live. I will send an alert out once I can go live. I'll send the alert out like a couple hours in advance, so that way y'all will know. I'm new at this, so I got to learn it. Hopefully I do it right. But we'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Be safe, all right? Bye.